WWE Royal Rumble 2026 is coming to you from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at the new King Abdullah Financial District. It's a big venue that they just recently built and put the finishing touches on like a couple of days ago. It's supposedly going to hold 30,000 people, and it's coming to you this Saturday. So let's break these matches down like a shotgun. I don't want to waste any time here. AJ Styles against Gunther. Now, if you watched my previous video, I was talking about AJ Styles and it potentially being his last week in the WWE, but is it going to be his last match in the WWE? Did he secretly sign an extension on his contract? Is this just to swerve us so that we get another AJ Styles Gunther match later on in the year? Maybe a rematch at WrestleMania. Well, in my opinion, I do believe this will be AJ Styles' last match. AJ Styles is not the type of professional wrestler that is going to spend an entire year getting our hopes up of whether or not he's going to retire, maybe going on a run where every match is a potential retirement match until he gets that rematch with Gunther. I think AJ Styles has made it very clear that this is going to be his last WWE match at the Royal Rumble. Shinsuke Nakamura has said as much, and I don't believe we're being swerved here. I think that there is a lot of tension and excitement and unpredictability in this match, and I also believe that it would be really great if the WWE started their PLE with this match, opening this match instead of the Women's Royal Rumble or the Men's Royal Rumble even. I think that this would be a great opening match. It will set the tone for the rest of the night. And there's going to be a lot of tension and suspense because you don't know what's going to happen. And I think a lot of fans are hoping that AJ Styles gets a win here. But I think with Gunther, they have already established that he is a retirement guy. He's a career killer, and he sends a lot of guys out on retirement. I think he's done it with Goldberg, who is one of the franchise players of WCW. He did it with John Cena, franchise player of the WWE. And now he's going to finish it off with the TNA franchise player of AJ Styles. Now, with Gunther on the other side of that, he can go after Brock Lesnar, who is a UFC guy. These are things that Gunther can check off his list. I mean, he's getting into the pantheon of the top WWE elites with these wins. I don't know if the character choice for Gunther is the right choice. I think they're utilizing him as more of a weasel and not as a monster. And I understand that he lost a lot of weight and he's thinner, but he's still a tall, statuesque type of figure. And he utilizes power moves, chops, and a chokehold in his arsenal. I think that they're going about it the wrong way with Gunther's character since he's choked out John Cena. Hopefully this changes. He snaps and ends the career of AJ Styles, and we get a more mean streak from Gunther going into a potential feud with Brock Lesnar. So for this match, unfortunately, you AJ Styles fans out there, I'm going with Gunther to win this one. In a WWE Undisputed Championship match, Drew McIntyre battles Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn won a four-way dance on SmackDown to win this opportunity. This match was won in Montreal, Quebec, his home area, and now he's going to Saudi Arabia, where he is highly favored and loved in that area. So Sami Zayn, some would say, could be an odds-on favorite to win this matchup. But Drew McIntyre just recently won the WWE Undisputed Championship. This would be his first official title match since winning the title. I don't know if they're ready to let Drew McIntyre just be a transitional champion after his first couple of reigns that he's had being so brief. The first one being during COVID, where there were no fans allowed in those buildings, and the second one being so brief because of a cash-in from Damian Priest. I think Drew McIntyre deserves, the fans want it, a longer title reign and holding the championship going into WrestleMania. So for that, I am going with Drew McIntyre to come out victorious. That would put, if Drew McIntyre were to beat Sami Zayn, that would put the win streak of matches that Drew McIntyre has had over Sami Zayn at 13. He would beat Sami Zayn 13 times to Sami Zayn's 0. This is the Tommy Dreamer Raven of the WWE. If you know, you know. Eventually, Sami Zayn will have to beat Drew McIntyre, and hopefully it would be for the WWE Championship somewhere down the line. I just think it's too early, and it is not the right time at the Royal Rumble. And plus, they're building up potential Cody Rhodes being an opponent for Drew McIntyre, maybe even adding Jacob Fatu. So for that, I am going to go with Drew McIntyre to retain here against Sami Zayn. Now for the women's 30 women Royal Rumble match for a World Championship match at WrestleMania 42. I believe you're going to see a few surprises here. One of them possibly being the return of Bianca Belair. Long time coming. She's been out for a significant amount of time. I think it is time for her to make her return and go after Jade Cargill. So I believe you're going to see the return of Bianca Belair. Some other notables that we could see in the WWE Royal Rumble. This year's Royal Rumble, even though it is in Saudi Arabia, I do believe that we may be seeing like a who's who of wrestlers from all over the world. WWE has relationships now with AAA, with TNA, a long-standing relationship now with Pro Wrestling Noah. I think also you have Evolve, you have the LFGs, you have all of these other companies that have kind of been, just swimming around the WWE. I think they utilize them. I think you see some superstars that come in. This could be one of the most diverse, multi-promotional rosters in the Royal Rumble in some time. So I would look to see if maybe Paige makes her return to the WWE. AJ Lee, AJ Styles on the brain. AJ Lee making a return and coming into the Royal Rumble. You may see Trish Stratus show up in the Royal Rumble as well. You can see some of these returns and potential debuts. You got Kendall Gray, who is an Evolve Women's Champion, who has also been doing great things in NXT. I would like to see Tatum Paxley show up in the Royal Rumble as well. Maybe even JC Jane can show up. And as far as from the TNA side of things, you can see maybe Indy Hartwell shows up. Maybe, and this could be huge, maybe Tessa Blanchard shows up and has a confrontation with Charlotte Flair in the Royal Rumble. And I know that's a controversial take there because of Tessa Blanchard's checkered past, but if you bring Tessa Blanchard in via TNA and test the market in an area like Saudi Arabia, I think that could be a huge opportunity to do that. You know, Tessa Blanchard, her father being Tully Blanchard, her stepfather being Magnum TA, all tied to Ric Flair, who is the father of Charlotte Flair. That's the match that I've been waiting to see, and you can get a tease of that in this Women's Royal Rumble. As far as who's going to win, I've narrowed it down to two options. It's either going to be Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan. And I have decided that I'm going with Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair winning the Royal Rumble would be huge. Liv Morgan obviously can still win at the Chamber. There are still other opportunities for her. Of course, you can think of other females like Rhea Ripley, who is also an odds-on favorite. But I'm going to go with a dark horse pick, and I'm going to pick the return of Bianca Belair leading to a win at the Women's Royal Rumble. And finally, for the Men's Royal Rumble matchup, just like I stated for the Women's, I think you're going to see a who's who, a world of different returns and debuts could happen at this Royal Rumble, potentially the most star-studded in a very long time. And I'm looking at Chris Jericho making his return to the WWE, and I believe it happens at the Royal Rumble. Now, I know that he is still listed on AEW's roster on their website. I don't know if that's intentional or just an oversight from the people that are running the website at this time. I do believe that Chris Jericho is headed to the WWE, and I believe that they're going to shock us and have him make his return at the Royal Rumble. Other notables that I believe that we're going to be seeing in this year's Royal Rumble are AAA wrestlers. I think you can expect Mr. Iguana to make an appearance in the Royal Rumble. I also believe for the TNA side, you might see someone like Moose. I know Joe Hendry has signed with the WWE and has been working on NXT and occasionally on SmackDown, but I believe you'll see Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble as well. One of the biggest things I think you're going to see is the actual debut on the main roster of Obafemi. I know he wrestled Cody Rhodes on a Saturday night's main event, but I believe this will be the first official debut of Obafemi. I think he's going to have this at the Royal Rumble. I think you'll see Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble on top of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and all of these other superstars that are going to be showing up in the Royal Rumble. Like I said, this could be the most star-studded Royal Rumble in a long time. As far as who I think is going to win the Royal Rumble, it is a tough one, you guys, because of all of this talent. And it all makes sense. Roman Reigns makes sense. Cody Rhodes makes sense. LA Knight makes sense as a big surprise. You can have so many. Brock Lesnar makes sense, for crying out loud. Braun Breaker is probably going to be an odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble. And who knows, we may see the return of Seth Rollins as well. But as far as who I think is going to win and how it makes sense, I believe it's going to come down to Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and I believe that Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. And the reason why is because Cody Rhodes, odds-on favorite, we all know his story, but I think there's a story within the chase of Cody Rhodes trying to get back into the WWE title picture, and I think it'll be too easy to just give it away at the Royal Rumble. I think you can put him in Elimination Chamber. You can still have him chasing after Drew McIntyre, becoming obsessed and absorbed with this idea of revenge. He's got Jacob Fatu lingering around, and they're having brawls all over the building and like Falls Count Anywhere type of scenarios. I think Cody Rhodes gets in his own way, gets eliminated potentially by Jacob Fatu, and then I think Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu are left, and I think Roman Reigns gets the win here. And Roman Reigns, I believe, at this juncture, should probably pick CM Punk, and we hope to get a Seth Rollins Braun Breaker match at WrestleMania, followed by some kind of a version of Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, and Drew McIntyre. And I think you got the top 3 matches in the men's division for WrestleMania 42. So, Roman Reigns on the men's side and Bianca Belair on the women's side. Those are my predictions for the Royal Rumble, but what say you guys? Who do you think is walking out of the WWE Royal Rumble with the ticket to WrestleMania to face the champion? You guys let me know in the comments down below. If you guys like this and other videos that I have, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's free 99, you guys. It's a handshake agreement. You give me a handshake with a subscribe button, and I promise to give you the hotness. This is the Wrestling Old Head, you guys. Thanks for listening. You have come to the portal of pro wrestling, and stay tuned for more.